arts teacher and author of the YA series Elementals and trilogy The Lucia Chronicles. This video is what is indie? And the reason I decided to create this is I'm going to keep it as short as possible, hopefully. But I attended Indie Author Day at a local library and I was asked to be an author there. And I've realized that some people kind of don't know, and just through my interactions on Bookstagram, some people don't exactly know what it is to be an indie author. They know it stands for independent usually. So there's kind of two different types of indie authors, and I didn't even quite realize this myself. When I was asked to do this event, there was only 8 authors there, and it was a smaller library system. It's only about, I think it's only three or 4 branches, and I just say smaller because we have a huge system. We have the Cleveland Public Library, but then we have the county I live in, and the county I live in has like a 26 branch library system. So when I say smaller, I mean, it's relative. So when I went and I was talking to them and just getting to know the other authors, and all of them, myself excluded, were all published with an independent press. Now, if you know stuff about publishing, there's 5 major publishing houses, and typically any publishing house that you see is an imprint, or like a subcategory, if you will, of that publishing house. So an imprint is, I use the imprint Boxer Bowl Books with my current series, the Elementals, and that's my imprint. And sometimes as an indie author, you might use a different imprint, for if you do children's books and YA, or if you do YA and adult, or maybe for fantasy books and then something else for just, women's fiction or whatever. So I was the only person who wasn't with an independent press. Now you may be thinking that even if you're not published by one of the 5 major houses, that you are still, lucky or whatever, and you are. However, what I learned from some of the other authors is they have to do a lot of stuff on their own. Sure, the print run and stuff is done through the independent press and editors and cover design and things like that, but they're expected to still have their own marketing plan and to do a lot of their own promotions. So in that aspect, it's really not different than indie author. However, as an indie, not with an independent press, I publish through CreateSpace and IngramSpark, and you can find videos about either of those print-on-demand services on my channel, or just anywhere on YouTube through other people. So I publish everything myself. Now, I do have a bachelor's in English and a writing minor. By no means does that make me any kind of expert whatsoever, but I do a lot of my own editing, and I get a lot of help with my editing. And that leads me to cost. It can be really expensive still to be an indie author. So even if you're with an independent press and you're doing your own marketing, you have to buy your own ads, and you have to, solicit stores maybe. Like one of the women at the Indie Author Day has some books about wine, so she would market her books toward wineries in the area. So you have to do a lot of that on your own, and that kind of stuff costs money. A website costs money. And a lot of the other authors who are with small presses said, I'm expected to already have, they don't even take on other clients, even though it's an independent press and a small press, unless you already have an established social media platform. And that's becoming more and more common even with the bigger publishing houses. Have you already established yourself beforehand in terms of, your Facebook or your Twitter, your Instagram, or whatever social media tools you're using? For example, I've branched out a little bit more on this particular series using IngramSpark, which isn't completely free. You can get through CreateSpace completely free if you don't order a physical proof of your book, and you do everything yourself. I do a lot of stuff myself. I design my own covers. However, I pay for use of Shutterstock images. I pay now for my own ISBNs. I don't just use the CreateSpace free ISBN. So that's, a cost that I have as well. And ISBNs through Bowker aren't necessarily inexpensive. I paid a graphic designer to make the elemental star for the series, my YA series, Elementals. I decided with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th books in the series that I wanted to have a map, since it is set in the future on a different planet and it's fantasy. I wanted a map not only to orient myself, but to orient my readers. And, that costs a lot of money. It can cost anywhere, depending on the graphic designer or the illustrator you're working with, anywhere from $100 to $800, depending on the detail of what you want and the artist that you're working for or with. Also things like editing. I've seen, you know, a 60,000 to like a 90,000 word book can be like $3,000. So because it's per word, and there's copy editors and proofreaders and content editors and then like line editors, and there's just all these different components of it. Not to mention, like I said, paying for your website, or if you do an event, I have to nobody supplies me a magic box of books. I have to figure out how many books I want to order, and I pay for that out of my own pocket. Now, is that tax deductible? Yes, if you're proving that you're trying to make a profit off of this and that it's a business. Right now, I'm considered a sole proprietorship, I think. So, you know, that's something to consider when you're looking to self-publish. I don't know the details of that working with an independent press. I'm assuming they probably supply you one with a startup of X amount of books, and they probably supply you with tax documents. I do get tax documents from Amazon and Kindle, and I don't know about IngramSpark. I need to look into that actually for tax season this year. So, you know, it can be really expensive. It can be really costly, especially if you're trying to you know, think of marketing yourself in unexpected ways. So this is just a little video kind of just to throw some thoughts out there and to clarify mainly that there are two types of indie. There's with an independent press, and then there's indie who publish with like CreateSpace and IngramSpark or BookBaby or Lulu or any of the other print-on-demand services that are out there. A great person to follow who follows that path is Joanna Penn and Derek Murphy. Also, I think he took a break, but he followed that path for a while as well. And they're what are known as authorpreneurs, where they're entrepreneurs, but all their stuff is kind of author-based. They participate in like indie author fringe through Ally and things like that. So they've kind of turned it into a business. So they, like Joanna Penn has books about publishing, and then she actually has her fiction books that she writes under JF Penn. And so that's kind of what I mean when I say like, you know, authorpreneur. And so it's kind of like two different worlds that kind of overlap a little bit. It's kind of confusing, but I just find that like a lot of people just don't get it, and I just wanted to create a little video to clarify some of the confusing bits, at least so far as I understand them. So if you have anything that you want to add, please let me know in the comments, or if you want to share your own experience, also please let me know in the comments, because I love to hear you know, and learn from other people and other indie authors as well, whether you're with an independent press or using you know, CreateSpace, IngramSpark, or Lightning Source, or whatever print-on-demand service that you're using. So hopefully that helped you understand what it means to be indie just a little bit better. In the meanwhile, happy reading.